Hey guys, my name is James Silvas. I'm a speaker and performance coach, and first and foremost, I want to thank you and Paris for allowing me to be here and to speak with you directly. It's really my passion to be able to do stuff like this and to really inspire people to live their ultimate potential. So often in society, especially in America, you see people who don't necessarily access all that there is inside of them. They get comfortable with doing the status quo and settling for mediocrity. And for me, that's never resonated. And so naturally, I've been drawn to athletics, professionally, collegiate, high school, and business executives, and even entrepreneurs like yourself, where you believe that you're going to get paid what you're worth, and not necessarily have a boss. And that's exactly what my mindset was and what has led me to do what I do. And for those of you who don't know, I am a business and performance coach. And what I do is I help people with their mindsets. I help them break through their limiting beliefs. I help them break through on their business, their personal life, their relationships, basically all aspects of life that lead to more of life. And it's truly been an honor in the last 5 years. I've had the honor and the privilege to work with over 6,700 people from 8 different countries. And you don't have to be the smartest person in the room to know that when you work with that many people, you start to see patterns. You start to see these little strategies that stick out because there's so many similarities between people that live in America to people who live in Europe and in South America. And my clients range anywhere from the person working 9 to 5 just wanting to be better, to the professional athlete looking to elevate his game, to the business executive looking to implement a culture where people feel empowered and positive and optimistic about when they come into work. And it's truly been a blessing. And so I'm really excited to be here today to share all that information with you. Obviously, we only have a short amount of time, so I'll do my best to get as in-depth as possible to really give you guys some value, to really take that throughout your day and to remind yourself of who you really are and what you're really capable of. It's easy to get stuck in the day-to-day, to wake up and do the same exact thing that you did yesterday. And if you don't know how to control your state or control your mind, then you just become victim to the day and to the circumstance. And none of you deserve that. No person deserves to be controlled by something that they can't control, right? So then it becomes really important that we understand our minds and how to program them the right way so that when we wake up with a purpose. We wake up with a vision. We wake up with certain steps that we're going to take, that we don't self-doubt ourselves. Because we've all been there. And especially in the network marketing industry, there's such a connotation or a label that society has just put on it, and it makes it even more difficult. But for you to choose anyway to be a part of that industry and to really believe in it works just goes to show how passionate you are and that you're in the right place. And so I want to congratulate you. And I also want to say that what I do is very similar to what you do. We can't sit around and wait for business to come to us. We have to be very proactive, and we have to be able to, in a moment, snap into someone who's enthusiastic and passionate and really clear on the message that we're trying to share. And so I'm really grateful to be here. So let's kind of just jump right into it. For me, starting this business at such a young age, my challenge was, who's going to listen to me? I'm this young 22-year-old thinking that he can change the world. Who's really going to listen to that? And who's really going to buy into that? That was my belief that I had to work through. And through time and through experience and through putting myself in very uncomfortable positions, I developed a belief that, what I have to say does matter. And that belief in me and sharing that with others has really allowed me to expand past, whatever I thought was possible. And so if I can do it, you can do it. And the first thing that started with me is you got to have a vision. You got to have a vision of where you want to go. What is it that you want? And this is so hard for a lot of people to answer. And so I really want you to focus on that answer. What do you want? What picture are you seeing in your mind that when you wake up, you can see each morning? Is it taking care of your family? Is it not having to go to a 9 to 5? Is it, you just really believe in the product and what it does for people and how it transforms their life, and just being able to share that with them? What does your vision look like? Very, very important. For me, It's changing the world one person at a time, allowing them to tap into their unlimited potential by teaching them how the mind and the body works. And so each day, I'm looking to that vision. That's it's compelling to me. It's drawing me forward. It's what gets me to go through hard, uncomfortable positions. It's because my future is so clear and I can see it as if it's 3D and it's already happening. The second thing is you got to know why. And I know that these things sound super basic, but you'd be surprised how many people skip them because they're so simple, which is why I like to come back to them from time to time. If you don't have a purpose for what you do, you won't be doing it for very long. And that's the fastest way to be controlled by your circumstances. If you're not clear on what it is, and then you don't believe it, or it's not strong enough to withstand something that's very uncomfortable, you're always going to give in to the uncertainty. You're always going to give in to the discomfort. And people in this business, or in any business, the only reason why they survive is because they have a strong purpose, a strong reason to do so. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your, the certain amount of money that you want to make to help your community. Maybe it's just proving to yourself that you can do something that someone told that you couldn't. Whatever it is, it's got to be strong, and it's got to produce an emotion in you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be active every single day, but you got to be able to come back to it pretty frequently. It's got to generate something inside of you that's going to push you past your comfort zone. Because the truth is, the mind, the way it's set up, it's not designed for growth. Growth is a mindset that needs to be adopted. If we go back to the old days when we're cavemen, right? We don't want to put ourselves in situations where our life is on the line. We enter flight or flight, and we're not very productive at that point. Our mind shuts down, our body shuts down, or our intuition and our ability to think cognitively, it's just survive. And for a lot of people, talking to someone that they don't know, doing something they've never done before, getting on the phone and making calls produces that same state. So you have to go into what you want to do knowing that you're programmed not to grow, which makes it a little harder for you to start implementing that growth mindset. But if you're strong enough and you have a big enough reason and you know exactly what you want, it's going to be a tad easier. But the beauty about it is that the mind is trainable. It's malleable. It can change. It can morph into something that it wasn't before. And all it takes is a certain amount of discipline and commitment for a certain period of time until your habits become second nature, until your activities, your actions become something that's just subconscious that you do automatically. How cool would it be that when you saw someone that's a potential prospect for you or a person that you might want on your team, you didn't hesitate, you didn't second guess, you just went for it. It just happened naturally. And you didn't have to waste any other effort trying to say, oh, well, what if I don't say it like this? Or what if they say no? You just went for it. That's what you need to learn to condition. The mind is a repetition machine. That's the only way it learns. So if you need to get over that mindset of being out of your comfort zone, it's really discomfort, you got to break through. Now, if the mind doesn't like to grow, then what you have to do is you have to condition it. You got to tell it what to do. Okay? And the way the mind works is you got the conscious mind and you got the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is what you're aware of. That's your cognitive ability. That's your ability to think in the future and the past and problem solve and reason. Okay? Then you have the subconscious, which pretty much runs the show. 95% of the thoughts that you have every day are subconscious. 5% are conscious. Okay? So the subconscious is way more powerful. Now, the thing about the subconscious is that it doesn't have a sense of time. There's no sense of time, which means it's always in the moment. But if we don't take the initiative and we're not proactive and we don't command and demand what we want from our mind, it's just going to operate off the same belief it did a moment before. So if a moment before you were operating from a place of fear or you were operating from a place of not enough, then it's just going to continue into the next moment, which only keeps the behavior alive. But if you can interrupt that pattern, interrupt that thought, and tell your mind what you want it to do or what you want it to be, and you can do that with emotion and intensity by using your body in a certain way, then you can command it to be that in the moment. And if you can do it now, chances are the next moment that comes is going to be the same feeling, and reminding and constantly reinforcing. Get out of your comfort zone. I am powerful. I can do this. It's simple. Just do it. And just command, reinforce until you start generating the emotion, and then you take the action. And then you take the action, you get the result. And the result may be something that you wanted or something you didn't want. Whichever it is, you can still learn from it. It's still a learning process. Just because you got told no doesn't mean that you're horrible. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that there's something that you may tweak. And even if you give the best presentation, there's still going to be people that say no. So we got to learn to not take that personally and let the ego go and just say on to the next. Because if we let that no linger, it's going to ruin the next interaction and the next interaction. And pretty soon we're going to fall victim to the word no, when really the word no is just a maybe. Learn to see it that way. A no is just a maybe. And it's just no in this moment. That may not mean in 5 moments from now it could change. Right? But we get so fixed in on hearing no, 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 that we think it's indefinite and final. Of course, don't push. You got to be genuine with it. And you want to force something down someone's throat. But you also got to believe that they just may not see it the way that you do. And you got to learn to explain it in a different way where it makes sense. Okay, so commanding your mind in the present moment. And now this is where affirmations comes in, or power phrases, which I like to call it because it sounds cooler. When you use power, when you use emotion, intensity inside your body, and you attach a phrase to that, you command the mind in the moment. And if you got it in the moment, if you own it in the moment, you own that moment. For example, if you ever get to go to one of my seminars where I do, some 3 days, 2 days, 1 day workshops, you'll get the chance to probably see me hit my chest a lot. And that's a very powerful trigger for me that I've trained my nervous system to do, that when I hit it, I in my head say, I am unlimited. I am unlimited. I am unlimited. And I hit my chest like this, and it just awakens my whole body, and I'm able to send energy to people. And I'm able to operate at such a level of congruence and confidence that it makes what I do a lot more clear, a lot more passionate. There's more fun. And I enter this zone-like state where you can present a problem to me and I'll solve it quickly because I'm in the state to do so. And we need to learn how to do this throughout our days, because if we just go on hoping that we're going to have a great day, or we hope to get a sale, instead of demand and command it in a genuine, authentic, real way, we're just going to fall victim. And the truth is, we're all creators. We create the circumstances in our life. And if we don't take responsibility for that, then we're never going to have the life that we want. Because ultimately, it's up to us. And the only thing that we can control is how we feel and how we see the world. And if you don't take ownership of that, someone else is going to take ownership of it for you, and you'll be doing something that you don't want to be doing for the rest of your life. Now, when you really believe in what you do and you have a strong purpose and a strong why, and you start doing the work, things happen. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. So 2 years ago, I was marketing for a workshop of mine that I was having at the university. And I was walking around, I was talking to just random people. And I was meeting a client at Coffee Bean at the town square. And while I was waiting for her, she was, coming 5 minutes away. And I was just walking, looking around, and I noticed this lady sitting by herself. And I was like, you know what? I got some time. Let me go talk to her about the workshop. So I walk on over there, and as you can imagine, someone's eating lunch and seeing me approach. I have a suit, I'm smiling, I don't know what she's thinking. But I reach out my hand, I introduce myself. Hi, I'm James. How you doing? And she goes, I'm good. How are you? I'm like, I'm fine. I just wanted to talk to you about a workshop that I'm having. And it's about the mindset, it's about confidence, and it's about creating the life that you want and really understanding the principles and the techniques to make that happen. And she goes, okay. And I was like, you don't have to, I'm going to give you a card and you can check out my website. Tell me what you think. And she said, well, what kind of coaching do you do? And I said, I do sports coaching. I do business coaching, culture, one-on-one. I basically do anything that helps people become more. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. She's like, our company is actually looking for another coach. And I said, really? And she's like, yeah. I was like, well, okay, check out my website. Let me know. Give me a call and we'll see where it goes. 7 days later, this lady calls me from that company, sets up an appointment. I walk into that appointment, tell the executives what I do, sell myself on a 30-day plan. If I don't make a change in 30 days, you let me go, right? But if I make the change, then you hire me for the year. So they agreed. I produced change in 30 days, and now I've been there for 2 years. And that deal came from some random person that I just walked up to because I believed in what I had and I believed in my purpose and I just trusted the process and didn't overanalyze about what to say or how to say it or I gotta be this way and this person. I just genuinely cared enough to share that information with somebody, and it happened organically. It wasn't forced. It didn't feel inauthentic. It was just real and to the point. And so what I'm saying to you, because you're in that same situation, is really believing in what you do and who you are, and really communicating that to people. Oftentimes in network marketing, you see people that just go about it in all the wrong ways. They're trying too hard. They're being someone that they're not. They're pushing too much on that person rather than just organically having a conversation and truly caring about the other person and what your product can offer them. And if you do it in an authentic way, they're going to feel that. They're going to feel that energy from you, and everything's going to work out. It may not work out the first time, the second time, or the third time, but guess what? You keep going. There's a quote that Winston Churchill said that success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Just because you got told no doesn't mean you're not going to find the next person. Keep going. Command your mind. Tell it what you want it to do in the moment. Don't wait for circumstances to match what you want in your mind. You create it in your mind first. Believe it that you're the person. Act as if until it actually produces itself in reality. Because the truth is, life is perception. And if you perceive yourself as someone who's genuine, confident, real, powerful, in the moment, a person that can relate to anybody, and you really adopt those beliefs and convince yourself in the present moment that those are true, that's what's going to come off. Until it becomes second nature, until it becomes subconscious, and then you just do it naturally. And people will ask you, how do you do that? How do you just walk up to somebody and just start a conversation? It's easy because you're out of your head and you're in your heart. When you stop analyzing things and making sure that's right and wrong and this and that and connecting the dots there, you're out of the moment. And the moment's where all the magic happens. Stay in the moment, stay present, and watch what happens. I wish you guys the best of luck. And if you need some more motivation, feel free to email me at james@silvasspeaks.com. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Reach out to me if you guys got any questions, or if you want to just do one-on-one coaching or anything like that. I do work with a lot of independent distributors. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people in real estate, and I would love to help out in any way that I can. So please own the moment. Tell your mind what you want it to do. Find a purpose and create a compelling vision for what you want, and there will be nothing that you can't have. And I wouldn't tell you that if I wasn't doing it myself. Thank you for your time. Go kill it out there.